Hello everybody, Darwin Fortuna here, a licensed architect that happens to invest in crypto. So today we have a market update. What's going on in the markets, guys? Starting with Solana. As you remember, we formed a higher high all the way back at about 47.36. We got rejection at that level and begun forming a series of lower lows and lower highs. Lower lows, except here it got slightly invalidated, but it did continue to get rejection. And now we found support all the way back at 39.93, which was support all the way back also several days ago. Now we try to bounce all the way back and hold $42 as support, formed a higher high and got rejection. And then what happened? We had the EMAs cross. So when the 10 EMA crosses down into the 20 EMA, that's very bearish. Now we are in a 45-minute chart, so it doesn't necessarily mean that on the long term that's how we're looking, but we do know that we've been on a bear market since November, right? We've been on a bear market, so it is bearish. It is looking negative right now for Solana. It's getting rejection. My next level of support will be 39.93. So remember how I told you that those levels of whole numbers tend to either be very strong support or very strong resistance, because we gravitate towards them or get rejected from them. All right. So right now, Solana is printing this sort of triple bottom, right? Like a head and shoulder almost right here. But it's not a head and shoulders, because this one, an inverse head and shoulders, this one would have had to be bigger than the right and left shoulders. Okay, so now what am I looking at? I think we have potential to bounce back from 39, which is what we're doing right now, and then try to form this series of higher highs and higher lows again, and then bounce all the way back to 44.80. I am a bit skeptic about it. I think that we're getting rejection right now, and I think that we may go and retest the lows again. That's my opinion. So let's go then through Ethereum. So Ethereum actually still has a very strong momentum. Remember the channel I mentioned to you a couple of days ago that we've been working on? We broke it a little bit, but then we broke it right through and formed a higher high. Now this is actually forming a higher low. So if we can actually rebound all the way back and break through, that is very, very, very bullish. Okay, so I formed this resistance level right here at about 1645, and I have a very light green. I don't think it's gonna be something that's gonna hold too strongly. One, it's not a whole number, and two, it's not something that I have on my radar as a resistance. So right now is the first time that registers, and we probably will break through it relatively quickly. We have a lot of positive momentum for Ethereum because we're moving from proof of work to proof of stake. Okay, so that's very important. We do have the stochastic on the negative side, and let me show you what that looks like here. So we are on the negative side, and that is a oversold territory. This I will explain later, but in my radar, for me, this is a buy signal. Okay, when we have the EMA crossing, the 10 EMA crossing below the 20 EMA, and the stochastic on below this level right here, which is I can't see the number right here, I'm covering it up. That is a buy signal, but I don't necessarily buy right there. Okay, I buy when this guy starts crossing up. Okay, so I'm still waiting in here, and when the orange starts crossing up, that's when I buy. Okay, and I'll explain this on another on a strategy relatively quickly. Okay, so let's go all the way to actually Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still on the channel that I have been looking at for a little while. So we were here, we broke through that, broke through it a little bit. So we're still on a positive trend right now, because you know, we were all the way at 17. So you have to look at where we were before, and we were all the way down there. Okay, below even down there. Okay, so now we are still forming series of higher highs and higher low, but we do have to retest some of those lows, and that's just healthy behavior. All right, so what am I looking at? So right now we are in oversold territory. The EMAs have crossed. When the EMA begin crossing back up and the stochastic begin crossing back up, then that's my buy. Okay, and I'm going to explain that later on another video just about that. So, but Bitcoin still holding strong and steady. Again, we formed this higher high all the way up there at 24,200. I was very positive about that, and I knew that we were gonna find rejection on it, and then we were gonna bounce back. And look, 23,700 became a wall right here, a little ceiling for us. So it was something that we struggled with before, and we have struggled with now. So if we are able to break right above, and this is holding a support right here, right above that, and maintain 23,700 as support, that is very positive for Bitcoin. Okay, so I am not concerned too much about Bitcoin. That's just what Bitcoin does, right? We consolidate a little bit, and then we start going back up. All right, so right now we have a little tiny bit of a divergence because we have this guy right here and this guy right here, right? So this one is forming a lower low, and this one's starting to form a higher. So that's a actually a slightly bullish divergence, but it's not as clear, so I wouldn't really count it 100%. Okay, so let's go back to Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic, as you guys know, has been rallying substantially, and that rally found a strong resistance all the way up between let me change the color of that real quick, and I'll show you how to use this chart too later, like how to use TradingView, because many of you, just like me, don't know much, and they didn't know much about this. Now you're learning. We're learning together. So so it found a lot of resistance all the way up at 27.85, and had to go all the way back. It wicked through, but it went all the way back. Now consolidated all the way in here, maintain support about $22, and I believe that's going to be a very strong support. $22.70 and 22.0 will be a strong support. If we begin falling through there, then I'll be a little concerned. Right now I'm not concerned. 24 has stayed as very strong support. 25 has stayed as very strong support. I don't see us going too much lower than that for Ethereum Classic. We will just consolidate exactly what we are doing with Ethereum. We are actually doing right now with Ethereum Classic. Overall, the markets started to be positive in the morning, and then they just started going down. All right, so many of them started just going down. But look, staked Ethereum is maintaining an upward momentum. This is an up channel right there, right? So that's very positive. So I'm not concerned at all. I think that Ethereum, we may have a little more of, retesting the 1500. We broke through all of this very quickly, guys. Okay, so you have to expect that we're gonna try to retest it. So it's Friday. What happens during the weekend? Well, we have low volume and whales, and just there's a lot of market manipulators that get to move the market a lot because there's low volume. All right, and volume, guys, is being shown all the way here. You will see, and you are starting to see, how volume is going to begin to drop down, and it means that almost anything can move the market. All right, so without much pressure, because there's not a lot of sell or buy pressure, so whichever decides to pull to pull the trigger on some buy orders is going to make it all go up. Somebody starts liquidating, goes to put it all the way down. All right, so, and because weekends, right, banks are closed and things like that, so people can't sometimes back up their positions, so there's a lot of volatility during the weekend because of that. All right, but I do expect upward momentum. I do expect that we're going to hold this as support and then rally back up and try to break through that 1645, which is very positive for Ethereum. All right, overall, we're doing very well. As you guys know, Dogecoin has really not moved almost at all for a very long time. That's a coin that hasn't really moved a lot. He tried to rally and he got rejected, and is consolidating right here now. But it hasn't really moved that much in comparison to other coins that have rallied. Like, I mean, Ethereum Classic has gone like 80% up in the last week. All right, so and you know, ADA has gone up a lot, substantially actually. So Litecoin got rejected all the way up at $61, 60, almost 62. So, but overall, we're getting a healthy pump, a healthy recovery, and I expect more of that coming, because next week we're going to be getting an interest rate hike. That's for sure. The Feds have a meeting next week, late next week, and we're going to be getting an interest rate hike. And what's been happening is that every time we get an interest rate hike, we've been actually going up because the Feds are doing something about inflation. That's it for today, guys. I hope you like this market update, a little bit of the information that I'm looking at, the things I am doing, and if anything, what I'm going to do is just put in a couple buy orders below. For instance, like I said, for let's say Ethereum Classic, if we end up going all the way to 22, that's where I'm gonna have a couple buy orders. And DCA, which means dollar cost averaging. Same thing with Solana. In fact, I am already going to be triggering some of my buy orders. Not financial advice for you. It's just what I'm going to do. It's just what I'm trying to do right now, because I do know that 39 and the 40 area is very strong support. We've used it a couple of times and bounced back up. Right now, we're trying not to even get to it, all right? Because people are anticipating that that will be the case. So I'll probably have some buy orders at 38, 39, and 40. And that's going to be what I'm going to do for, you know, limit orders, guys. And I'll explain the difference between limit and market orders, but that's what I'm planning on doing. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and remember that I'm here with you guys. We're going to get through this and learn all about how the market works and things like that. And I have a lot of great videos coming up. So, again, no financial advice, never, but hey, I'm a licensed architect that happens to invest in crypto. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Thank you.